Hello, neighbor. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I'm Alicia Dolan, and you are here at Creating in My Corner for another one of our Stampin' Sunday card classes. So each Sunday, I come to you and show you a project that you can make. And tonight, it will be this month, actually, this whole month, we've done Christmas projects. And tonight we'll be doing another two Christmas cards. So I'm still waiting on my on an order to come with new stamp sets. And so we are going to make another card using the Ringed with Nature stamp set and dies. I don't know if we'll use the dies tonight or not, but we'll see soon enough. And so how this class works, just so you know, is it's kind of a create as you go class. So I plan out a little bit what products I want to use, and then I create with you live on Facebook. So, and I do post these videos also afterwards over on YouTube. I may switch and post them on YouTube and then share them to Facebook, because I've heard that the comments are more real time, but I don't know that yet. And so I'll let you know when I'm going to try that out. But for tonight, it looks like we are live and everything is working fine. So in just a moment, I'll turn the camera around and we'll get started. But I wanted to show you another thing that we are using tonight, and it's called the Open Sleigh Designer Series paper. So I just wanted to show you a couple pieces of this and how really beautiful it is. Let's see, I think you can see it better maybe on this side. All right, so this is one piece. I'm just going to flip through a couple. There are 48 sheets in this pack, and this is 6x6 paper, but isn't that so beautiful? It's actually absolutely perfect for making Christmas cards. So if you are looking for some really beautiful Christmas paper to make some quick Christmas cards, that's what I'm going to be showing you tonight. All right. So now I'm going to turn the camera around and get started. It'll take me just a moment. And so you will not see me or hear me for just a minute while All right, I feel like someday I will get that camera view just right up front, but so far it hasn't happened. Now, please know that I am watching for your comments, and so if you have comments or questions, please put them in the Facebook comments. Or anytime you have questions, you can always send me a message, and I am happy to answer those. So what we're going to start with tonight, if you are going to stamp along, you're going to need some designer series paper, stamp set, and some cardstock. So first we're going to use Lost Lagoon cardstock. Now this is not really, I wouldn't say it's a traditional Christmas color. It's a little different, but it's beautiful. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to take our piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and we're going to put it in our trimmer at 5.5. And what you're doing there is you're cutting your cardstock right in half. Then we're going to turn it sideways and we're going to put it at the 4.25 mark. And we're going to score it there. Okay, and now we can fold this in half right on that score line. And, oh, hold on, I need my, the rest of my supplies here. I've got a Stampin' Pierce mat. I like to put that down first. And then here is my piece of scrap paper. Now you can order the grid paper too. It comes in a huge pack. And I love having it on here because sometimes I need to measure out where I need to put things and it has the inches listed right along the side. Now, if you prefer the metric system, you can find that on the back of the grid paper. Okay, so we're going to take our card base and we're going to score it right on, we're going to press it on the score line, just like that. And that's going to be our card base. Now, the paper that we're using tonight comes in a 6x6. So this is a full sheet of that paper, the Designer Series Open Sleigh paper. And just so you know, I checked right before I came live and you can order the Open Sleigh paper right now. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for joining me tonight. Because this was on back order for a while. So if you want to get this paper, you should order it. I don't know if it will sell out again, but there's always a chance. And it is an online exclusive. So that means you will not find it in a catalog anywhere at this point. I put a link in the description that will take you right to the paper with the host code. So I love this paper too. It is so, so pretty. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this paper and we're going to glue it. Are we going to glue it? Hold on. Maybe we're not. Yes, we are. Okay. I forgot what my plan was for a second there. Okay, we're going to turn it over and look, even the back of this paper is super cute. Look, see all those cute little trees? Those little pine trees, they're adorable. I know, I need more too. In fact, I have some in my cart. So hopefully I'll be able to order that. Okay, so we're going to take our liquid glue and we're going to do a thin line around the edges. We're going to leave a little space for our finger. And then we're going to do a squiggle down the middle. When you're using the liquid glue, I know I have mentioned this before, but it never hurts to mention again. When you're using the liquid glue, you just want fine lines of glue. You don't want a big smattering of glue everywhere. And when I put mine down, I like to put it down and kind of wiggle it just a little tiny bit. You don't want to wiggle it too far, but I like to wiggle mine just a little bit. And I think it kind of spreads the glue around behind there so that you don't get any of those lines of glue that you sometimes will see. All right, so then we're just going to press that down. Guys, this is a really beautiful card. I hope that you're going to love this. Okay, and it's so easy. This is so easy. Okay, and we're going to use this Merry Christmas right up here. And so we need to grab that And we're going to put that on our block. And I know that it feels nothing like Christmas right now, except for the fact that we had what I would call crazy hailstorms the other day. And so when I looked out over my backyard, with the exception of all the leaves and branches that have been knocked down from the trees, it did look quite a bit like it had snowed. So I'm not ready at all for snow yet, but it did look like that to me outside. All right, so now we're going to take a 1/2 inch strip of basic white, and I have a little envelope that I keep beside me with different sizes of white pieces so that when I'm designing, I always have something that's kind of ready to go. Okay, and we're going to grab our Versamark ink. And I've got my little tray of embossing goodies here. So what we're going to do is we are going to emboss this in silver ink. So we're going to open our Versamark pad and we're going to tap our stamp in there. And then we're going to stamp it right so that it goes along the center of this 1/2 inch piece. I did forget to use my embossing buddy, so hopefully that doesn't mess me up. All right, and then I've got my embossing tray here and my scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to lay my stamped piece over top, and I'm going to sprinkle some of this silver embossing powder over the top. I know that I've been using embossing powder quite a bit lately. I really like it for Christmas time. Something about the magic of embossing and the magic of Christmas, they just feel like they go together to me. So if you don't have some embossing powder, you can order that too. But you'll need to emboss. There are a couple things you need. You don't necessarily have to have this little tray to put your powder in, but you do need your embossing powder, your Versamark pad, and a heat tool. Now, Stampin' Up's heat tool actually has 2 settings. I do not actually have that one myself. So I bought my heat tool before I joined Stampin' Up. And so far, I've chosen to spend my cash on other things. I'm going to put this on mute just for a second while I emboss, but you should be able to see the color change as we heat set the words. Okay, I hope you could see when they went all shiny. And that's how you know they're done. All right, so now we are going to trim our sentiment. Just let's see, we need to measure. So let's trim it at 2 3/4. So that's right there. And then we're going to take a little scrap of Lost Lagoon and we're going to trim this at 3/4. We're going to trim a 3/4 inch strip. So when you're reading my instructions, if you ever see like a 1/2 inch strip or a 3/4 inch strip, we're not talking about the length. We're just saying this is the width of it. Okay. So we're going to put this down. We're going to turn over our sentiment. And we're going to add some liquid glue to the back. Now, this is a really small piece. So you're just going to do a little, like a little squiggle around. All right. And then we have to be a little bit careful to pick it up and get it. We're going to get it kind of centered on our strip here. And we can wiggle it a little bit. I think you can see how that wiggles just a little bit when you first put it down, but you don't want to keep wiggling it because then you might end up with a little crooked piece. Okay, so there is our sentiment. And we're just going to take a pair of snips and we're going to trim off the end. Now, if you need to, you can put it back on your trimmer and measure it. But in general, when I'm doing that second end, I just kind of trim it to match. And it does look a tiny bit crooked there. I had to fix it just a little bit. Okay, so here is our sentiment. And we're just going to put it, let's see. I think we'll put it off to the side over here. But first, I want to put a little piece of the elegant trim on there. If you're watching and you can say hello or like the video or share it, I really appreciate that. It kind of helps me know who's watching and how to plan for future videos too. Okay, so we're going to take a little piece of our, this is called, let me make sure I say the right word. This is the Simply Elegant trim. So we need a little piece of the silver. And this actually comes in both silver and gold. So you get both in the same pack. And we're just going to swirl it around here twice. So I've got 2 little loops there. And I'm going to cut it off right here. Okay, and then it kind of holds it, it's a little bit metallic, so it kind of holds its shape a little bit. But I can tell you that also makes it a little tricky to tie a bow. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this so that it sits behind our Merry Christmas. So we're going to turn this Merry Christmas over. And we're going to grab our glue dots. Just going to set it down for a second. And what I want to do is I'm going to put a glue dot on either side of the back of my sentiment, just like that. And I'm going to adjust this a little bit because I don't really want the ends poking out. Okay, so I've got the ends over here and I'm going to stick them on that one glue dot. And then I'm going to stick this other side on that other glue dot. So I've got them on each side of that. And then what I can do is grab some Stampin' Dimensionals. Hope that everyone is doing well tonight. It's an exciting day here. Today was my husband's birthday. And if you remember earlier this month, we had an anniversary. So we've got an anniversary, and his birthday is today, and then my birthday is next Saturday. So we have a lot of exciting events going on here in July. All right, so now we're just going to stick down that Merry Christmas. And you could make those silver pieces swirl whichever way you want them to. Okay. I feel like I'm cluttering up my space a little bit, so I'm scooting things to the side here before we continue. Okay, so here is our card. And I'm telling you, this paper makes the easiest, the best cards. They're fun and they're quick. And sometimes it's really nice to be able to do something that's quick like this. Okay, and then I'm going to add some iridescent pearls, basic jewels. I love these little jewels, and I think they kind of look a little bit like snow sometimes. So I'm going to put one here. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some up here around the top. Oh, I pulled that one right off of its sticky back. All right, just like that. Okay, so here is our first card. I don't even know how long that took, but it couldn't have been that long. And now you can add a white piece on the inside, but I haven't decided yet if I want to do that or if I want to write with one of those glitter gel pens. Those are really pretty on this dark paper. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I know that some people are not real excited about birthdays. My husband kind of views it as just another day. But the way I look at it is it's an accomplishment. It's a mark of all the things that I've been through in a year that God has brought me through. And so I think each birthday, I try to be extra thankful that for all the good things, really. Okay, so there is our first card. And the next one, we're going to use this paper here because I really like the look of this kind of sunshine behind the mountains. And so this is the next one. And with this one, we are going to use some Misty Moonlight. And I've got a piece here that is cut. Let's see. I want to make sure it's cut right. Yeah. Maybe not. Okay, we want it to be 5.5 by 8.5. Oh, and this one was a little larger than that. So I must have used the other half for something else. Okay, and we're going to turn it to the side and we're going to cut it at 4. Not cut it, we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Okay, and then this piece, we're gonna cut at 4 this way, okay, by 5 1/4. All right, hopefully I did that right. It looks a little small. No, it's all right. Okay, so this one is gonna go this way. So we're gonna fold this in half and press it with our bone folder. Okay, and it's gonna go just like this. Okay, and then we need a piece of white to stamp on. Let's see. All right, here's a little piece we can move. And where's our stamp set? I want to use this time, instead of a Merry Christmas, we're going to use this Love and Warmth. And I think that could be, it could kind of be a Thanksgiving card um, or just a winter card. But I do want it to be still Christmas-ish. All right, so I need a different block for that. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. It really is. I really love having class with you. And I love it extra when you comment and when I know that you're there. Okay, so we're going to put the Love and Warmth stamp on there. And this time we are going to emboss it in gold. Okay, so we're going to take I forgot this step last time. This time we're going to take our embossing buddy. Okay, and we're just going to rub it across our paper, just like that. And let's see. If you do get the embossing powders, you get 3 in the metallic set, and you get gold, silver, and copper. So they're all beautiful colors. Okay, so this is ready. And we're going to grab our Versamark pad. And we're going to tap our sentiment on there, Love and Warmth. And then we're going to stamp, and I'm going to stamp it right in the middle. I could stamp it off to the side, but I have a feeling that I am going to want to cut this out with some sort of frame. So that's why I'm going to give myself plenty of space to work around. Okay, now I don't know if you just noticed, but my stamp was starting to come off my block when I'm trying to clean it. And in general, that means I need to give my block a little clean and then turn my stamp over and just wipe it on my chamois a little bit. After you do that, it'll stick to your block a lot better. For some reason, sometimes the stamps get little fuzzies. I don't know if it's dust or actual fur balls. I don't know. But if you ever find that when you go to clean your stamp, it doesn't stick to the block, then clean this back side of it and it'll stick a lot better. Okay, I'm gonna put this with this one so that I don't forget to put them away later. All right, now we're gonna sprinkle our gold embossing powder this time. Okay. And then we're just gonna tap off the excess and I'm gonna flip it over here because I really don't want all those little embossing powders getting everywhere. And I'm gonna close it up right away. Okay, and we're all set with that for now. Now I'm gonna turn off my sound for just another moment while I heat set this with the embossing tool. Okay, and you probably noticed I had to turn it there in the center. That embossing tool gets really hot. So in the embossing additions kit, there is a pair of tweezers that you can use to hold this. I have lost my tweezers somewhere. I have no doubt that they're hiding under something or in something and that I'll find them. But it really is helpful to have those if you do much embossing. Tammy, I feel like I find fur balls around here all the time. I blame it on the dog for sure, but there are lots of fur balls around here. All right, so now I want a shape to cut this out. All right, and I think there's one in the all that stamp set that would work. So let's see. That one's a little too small. I think that one will be pretty. Okay. So this is from a different die set. This is from the All That die set that coordinates with the He's All That stamp set. In the Ring with Nature set, there is not a frame. So there are some cute little branches, some stems, and several wood, I don't know what you would call them, wood rings or wood rounds, and even a little acorn top, but there's not a frame per se or a tag. So I'm going to cut this out with my die cutting machine and I will be right back. Okay, so here is our die all cut out. I'm going to put this one back away before I forget about it. And then I'm going to use some, oh, you have a cat. Yeah. so you understand about the fur balls. I was just sweeping upstairs earlier and I was like, how is there so many fur balls everywhere? All right, so this is petal painting. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this little sponge dauber and we're just going to daub around our circle here. And this is just going to kind of soften up the edges of our circle. This is definitely not a necessary step, but I think it's kind of a fun one. And it just adds a little something extra to your card, to your stamping, a little extra layer of dimension or depth. And these are so quick and easy that you can add a little extra and not have it take all day. Okay. So there is our, okay, here is our next little layer. I'm trying to decide now where it should go. I think maybe right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over and add our liquid glue. This paper, it makes making cards so easy. You could combine so many different stamp sets with this. I'm really excited to get the one that I have coming and put it together with this paper. So I ordered a Christmas set that is mostly, I'm pretty sure it's all words. But I thought with this paper, you don't need a whole lot of extra images. I can use those words and totally be fine. Okay, and then we are gonna pop this up. So we need our Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're just gonna put them right on there. And we're gonna stick it right here. And then we are gonna take our gold Simply Elegant trim. And I am gonna make a little bow. Now, I did tell you that these little bows are hard to make with the metallic thread. And they are. I don't know if you've ever sewn with metallic thread or anything, but it's kind of tricky to work with. But once you get the bow tied, it'll usually stay. It's just the tying of it and tightening it enough that can be tricky. But once you get it close, and I'll show you here in just a second, I'm going to try and get it. I want just a little bow. Okay, once you get it close, and now if I pulled on this, it would untie. So what I'm going to do right away is I'm going to put it on a glue dot. So I'm going to open my glue dots up. I'm going to be careful because I don't want them stuck everywhere. But I'm just going to take my bow and I'm going to sit it down right on top of a glue dot. And I'm going to press it in. And that will help it to stay once I pull it off of there. So then before I pull it off, I'm going to trim the other end to match. And then I should just be able to peel that bow off and have it already stuck to the glue dot. So that's going to make my life a lot easier. And then I usually fold the little outside edges towards the middle. And then we can stick it right on there. And we have our cute little bow. And all we have to do is add a few of our iridescent pearl basic jewels, and our card is done. So that's 2 cards done really quick. Okay, so we're going to put these up. I love them up in the sky. So we're going to put 3 up in the sky. And then I'm going to put 2 down here. To just kind of balance it out a little bit. All right, so there is our second card for tonight. I hope that you've enjoyed these. They are so quick and fun. You could order a pack of this paper and get together with some friends, and you can use any stamp set with this. I really do love the Ring with Nature stamp set. However, I'm excited about the next one I have coming too. Thank you, Tammy. So I hope that gives you just a couple of ideas for Christmas cards. They're quick and they're fun. And you can even, you don't have to send them to your favorite people. These are cards that you could even send to, an acquaintance or someone that you just met, and they'll still think these are beautiful cards. Thank you, Anne. I'm so glad that you are here with me tonight, that you've joined me for this week's Stampin' Sunday video. And I'm excited to show you our project for next week. I don't know what it is yet. So I'm waiting for my stamp set to come. Hopefully it comes tomorrow. I'll see you all next Sunday. Until then, happy stamping.